On this edition of Fulton Law and Justice, a longtime former Atlanta police official is now second in charge at the Fulton County Jail. We'll hear what he plans for the Rice Street facility. Fulton judges lay out the details for the new Misdemeanor Mental Health Court pilot program, and young people learn all about the justice system thanks to the county's Clerk of Superior and Magistrate Court. I'm Douglas Bell, and Fulton Law and Justice starts right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome to Fulton Law and Justice, your inside look at the work of Fulton's justice partners. I'm Douglas Bell. We begin with the longtime lawman who is now helping one of the largest county jails in the region to run efficiently. The former head of the Atlanta Police Department's Major Crimes Unit is now the Assistant Chief Jailer for the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant Colonel Adam Lee, welcome to Fulton Law and Justice.
I really appreciate this opportunity to speak with you.
You were formerly a part of the well-known APD HAT Squad, and now under the Sheriff's Command. What exactly will you be doing as the Assistant Chief Jailer?
In a nutshell, I'm responsible for the operations portion of the jail. That means everything that is physical that occurs. When an inmate checks into the jail, they go through a process which is administrative. After that, everything is an operational procedure. So I'm responsible basically for that part, the physical workings of the jail, which includes security.
I understand you accepted this role 4 months into your retirement from the Atlanta Police Department's Major Crime Section. What was so appealing about this position?
Well, when I retired, I assumed that I would be going back to work. I knew I didn't want to just sit at home. So I started looking for law enforcement positions, and this position actually intrigued me because it was so different from what I was used to. And I just wanted to be challenged in my next job. I knew if I got a job as a police officer again, I wouldn't receive the same type of challenges that I'm receiving here working with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Talk to us about your management style and the goals you have for the division.
Well, I wholeheartedly believe in transformational leadership. That is basically when a leader identifies a need for change, and he encourages, inspires, and motivates the members of his team to join him in making those changes, those necessary changes. I also subscribe to charismatic leadership. And in that portion of your style, you have to get people to like you. If people do not like you, they will not work for you. So I believe in setting up a rapport with people initially before you make any changes to the organization or the agency. One of my goals is to get others to see a need for change, which I believe will foster growth and development. I just want the citizens of Fulton County to know that I am committed to doing this job and that I intend to provide them with the service they deserve and expect from me, and I am assuming that they have high expectations.
Lieutenant Colonel Adam Lee, great addition to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for providing me with this opportunity to be with you today.
And speaking of new additions, a new pilot program for Magistrate Court is offering help to defendants with behavioral health conditions. FGTV's Brian Robinson has details for the Misdemeanor Mental Health Court.
This is an illness, and we are simply helping people work through it.
Inside the Fulton County Courthouse, the county's justice partners and behavioral health representatives discuss a 90-day pilot program called Misdemeanor Mental Health Court. The program is aimed at helping individuals with serious mental illness and helping those who cycle in and out of the criminal justice system.
So it'll help our county by first clearing the jail, but it'll also help us on a public safety standpoint by making sure that those individuals are in fact connected to services, connected to housing, and not prone to recidivate.
Staffers at the Fulton County Jail say they are overwhelmed with inmates with mental health issues. To relieve that stress, defendants who are either in jail or appear in court for a misdemeanor crime who were deemed to have a mental health condition can voluntarily join the program. The goal is to connect participants in the jail with services, including housing and behavioral health treatment, prior to their release to support them in the community. Once released, they are monitored regularly by the court and the court team. Additionally, because this is a diversion program, once participants complete the program, their charges will be dismissed.
Our participants are required in the first stage to come every week, so we will see them every single Friday after they have been released from the jail that Thursday. If in fact they are not released on the first Thursday, we will continue to staff their case, try to figure out what resources and services they need in order to make sure that they get out.
As the overcrowding issue at the jail continues, the county is working diligently to make sure Misdemeanor Accountability Court returns at the end of 90 days. Reporting for Fulton Law and Justice, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thanks, Brian. Still to come, how the People's Clerk is keeping kids on the right side of the law. Stay with us. A number of Fulton's justice partners are heeding to the public's plea to engage young people in programs to keep them out of trouble. The Marshal's Office, the District Attorney's Office, the Solicitor General, and even the Clerk of Superior and Magistrate Court all have junior internship programs. One such program is the focus of this edition of the People's Clerk. Here's Nicholas Cotton.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us. While many may know that the Fulton County Clerk of Superior and Magistrate Courts provides services to constituents regarding properly processing and safeguarding precious documents, fewer probably know that the office also works to play a major role in building the communities it serves. That includes dedicating countless community service hours and creating initiatives that aid in aging citizens and our youth. Almost a decade ago, the clerk, the Honorable Kathleen Tina Robinson, created the Junior Deputy Clerk Summer Internship Program, an initiative to build and encourage future leaders in the community. Eldar Kadich and Jared Young, the program coordinators, are here to join us. Welcome to the People's Clerk, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, before we get started talking about this great program, this initiative created by Clerk Robinson, tell us a little bit about yourselves and the roles you play in the office.
Absolutely. So my name is Eldar Kadich. I'm a Management Policy Analyst 3 at the Clerk of Superior and Magistrate Court. My position primarily deals with training. I'm a training coordinator within the clerk's office. I also am an administrator for the Junior Deputy Clerk program during the summer months.
Okay. Jared?
And once again, Nick said, my name is Jared Young. I am an Administrative Coordinator 2 in the Clerk of Superior Court, Administration Services Bureau. I oversee the travel and training. And also I work with Eldar Kadich on the training aspect within the Clerk of Superior Court.
Okay, so let's talk about this wonderful program, right? You two are first-time coordinators, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the program as a whole.
Absolutely, Mr. Cotton. So the Junior Deputy Clerk program is a 4-week program during the summer months where we select various students from rising 10th grade to 12th grade to participate in the Clerk of Superior Magistrate Court everyday activities, from seeing what the court system actually does to looking at different areas within Fulton County as a whole. And then we have different sort of reach out programs where we actually go to the state capitol, we go to the Supreme Court of Georgia to interact with judges, the governor, and different people to kind of give an insight to these kids as to what they could potentially do in the future and kind of how the county is run. The program is 4 weeks, as I had said. We do give them the week of 4th of July off, as you know, obviously most people are off during that time so they can spend it with their family. And we try to pepper a couple, fun activities throughout the program, such as going to the zoo or doing fun cookouts and having sort of a little competition between the interns and the mentors that they're assigned to.
Okay, so you mentioned that they get the 4th of July off. Is the program typically around the same time each year?
Yes. So usually it's the 2nd to 3rd week of June going to the 2nd or 3rd week of July. So we try to keep it during that time frame, as most kids are obviously off during that time. It fits well with them, and also with the 4-week structure, we're able to give them a really insightful experience into the clerk's office and what Madam Clerk does every single day within that, but also gives them a little time to sort of breathe before going back to school and before starting the program.
Okay. So Tell us how the participants are selected and identified for this program.
Absolutely. So we actually have a pretty rigorous process that we kind of go through to select these individuals. So first, they have to obviously apply. There is a deadline that we have. They have to do a written sort of essay as to why they would be the perfect candidate for this position. And then after that, from all those interviews, from all those applicants, we actually set up on-site interviews in the clerk's office, and we have a panel of interviewees, which include, Bureau Chief Roland Lane, myself, and a couple of other individuals within the clerk's office to assess if these are going to be the best candidates for the program.
Okay, so getting them ready for the career world,
Absolutely.
Teaching them how to interview and
Exactly,
things like
exactly,
that, right?
Exactly. Great experiences.
Great experiences. Tell us a little bit about some of these experiences throughout the program, what they entail. What do you all kind of engage with the interns?
So one of the activities the students did this year is they went to the Georgia Supreme Court and met the Honorable Harold Melton this year, and they enacted a mock trial this year.
Okay.
Another activity they did, they went to the Capitol and they met a congressman, and then also they met Governor Nathan Deal.
Okay.
And as well as they went to Helene Mills. And so our motto this year.
Helene Mills, the senior living facility.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes. And so our motto this year is embracing our differences. And so the piece that we were trying to put together was the students, they were basically trying to put together the age gap between older citizens in Fulton County and their age, the younger generation. And basically they sat with older individuals and they talked about they had conversations about cell phones, how to use the cell phone, how to connect with their grandkids or great-grandkids each day. And it just basically had conversations as far as being able to bridge that gap.
That gap, that
Right.
generation.
Talking about different social conflicts that older
Right.
generations versus younger generations had to interact with, and sort of understanding where everybody came from. So that was definitely a big focus.
So let me ask you, what do you all believe that teens truly get from this program?
Well, I mean, speaking for myself, I wish I had this program when I was in high school. I don't think there was I mean, maybe there was, but I wasn't aware of it. But just kudos to these kids for doing the program. But when you're talking about actually learning leadership qualities, learning how to interview, learning how to present yourself, working in a professional environment. Obviously, the clerk of Superior Magistrate Court for Fulton County, largest county in all of Georgia, that's a pretty big deal, right? So it's a lot of great experiences where they're able to build for the future. And I think the more experiences they can have like this, the better prepared they're going to be going into finishing high school, getting into college, going beyond that, and then even getting their first job.
So I've experienced the program since its inception, right? Helping Clerk Robinson kind of bring this brainchild to life, right?
Yep.
So over the past several years, I've seen the effects that it's had, and I know the effects that it's had on me. As first-time coordinators, what has this program kind of done for you all, being on the coordinating side of it?
I had a lot of fun. That was number one. These kids are, a great bunch. I was able to really connect with them, help develop them, and walk them through a lot of different activities and even things that when I was growing up was kind of, hesitant to maybe talk to my parents about or potentially some of my friends. I think the program as a whole is a great professional experience, and it's a great social interaction among a very diverse group of individuals. And then we pair them with other mentors within the clerk's office, and then they get to meet all sorts of different, judges and congressmen and all these different folks where they can get their perspective and then make up their own mind. So for me, it was just a great experience to be able to help these kids sort of develop over those 4 weeks. I think you would agree there was
Yes, definitely.
5 or 6 different individuals that,
Right.
when they first started, we thought they weren't really going to talk to anybody. And then all of a sudden, the second to third day, they're getting really comfortable and just interacting and kind of flourishing. So
one thing I want to mention, and not to cut you off,
No, you're fine,
and
you're
I
fine.
think it's very important that we highlight this. We talk about the experiences, the different field trips they take, but Clerk Robinson really was very passionate about implementing SAT prep.
absolutely.
Right?
Right.
That's a major thing.
Yes.
Can you all speak to that briefly about the SAT prep and the effects that it had on the program?
Right. So yes, we did have an outside tutor come in every week, and she was amazing. From the very beginning, they took a PSAT and they basically did practice tests for about 40 minutes each day. And the tutor came in and she tutored the students in reading and language arts. And at first, the scores were okay. They were fine. They were good for them not to have taken the SAT before. They were pretty good because these you're talking about sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And by the end of the program, their scores have risen maybe 300, 400 points just from that.
Really?
Just from the tutoring.
So we had an average increase of over 10% for the entire group. The highest increase that we had was 350 points in a matter of 4 weeks. And the highest score, so we actually had kind of a little competition between going a couple of the interns. The highest score was a 1470, and you're talking about I believe a rising sophomore got a 1470, and then another rising sophomore got a 1450.
Wow.
I did not get a 1450 on my SAT. So I just think, you know, being able to go, for instance, that first individual, first time they took it, they got 1100. And then going up to 1470, that's a huge improvement. So.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
Guys, I really, really, really want to thank you all for joining us today. I wish we had more time to talk about it. We have so much to talk about, the sponsors and Clerk Robinson's, you know, input on the program. Right. But really, I just want to really thank you all for taking the time to come and join us, okay?
Thank you very much
for having us.
Nearly a decade ago, a key figure within the justice system saw a need for her office to play in reaching out to educate area youth about justice system policies, local state government, in addition to the overall importance of networking, professionalism, and establishing healthy work ethics. From there, the Clerk's Office Junior Deputy Clerk Summer Internship Program was born. And since that time, Clerk Robinson and her staff have mentored roughly 200 young adults. And while many have gone on to attend college and enter into the workforce, there is still a need to continue reaching out to help shape the minds and the visions of one of our most valuable commodities in our community, the youth. The mission of the Fulton County Clerk of Superior Court's office is alive and well, and so too is our commitment to our youth. To learn more about the Clerk's Office Junior Deputy Clerk Summer Internship Program and how you can become a sponsor, you can call us at 404-613-5313. We're also located at 136 Pryor Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. Or you may visit one of our Fulton County Service Centers for your convenience. Hey, or you can even check us out online at fultonclerk.org. We take pride in assisting every Fulton County resident in every way that we can because we believe in doing the right thing, the right way, each time, for every customer. I'm Nicholas Cotton. Thanks for joining us on this edition of The People's Clerk.
Thanks, Nicholas. We'll be right back. Fulton County has committed itself to serving its residents in 6 priority areas. The strategic goal for Fulton's justice partners is making sure that all people are safe. On Fulton Law and Justice, we show you how Fulton's law enforcement and justice partners are doing that every day in how they serve and in the programs they provide to enhance the lives of all people, young and old. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Fulton Law and Justice. I'm Douglas Bell. We'll see you next time.